The crypto market's at $870 billion. It's down over 11% as a total market capitalization in the last 24 hours. We have got a lot to go through today. FTX, Sam Bankman-Friedman, Changpeng Zhao. What is going on? The Bitcoin price, the bottom was in? No. And I'm expecting prices to come lower. Let's get into it. Hi guys, Funsho here from We Coach Crypto, bringing you cryptocurrency news, updates, and everything that you guys need to know when it comes to investing in digital assets like Bitcoin. Now, first thing to highlight, I am not a financial advisor. Second thing to highlight, we are here to help you guys crush the market. We've got a great deal of experience, a huge team, and tons of resources. And guess what? Everything you need is accessible on our Crypto Academy on Discord. Link is in the description and it's completely free to join. So take advantage of it. Now, we're on a mission to help 1 million people understand cryptocurrency, and our Crypto Academy helps all of those people to do that. We've got free guides available on our website, and you've got the ability to interact with a community and family that is all aligned with the same things as you, to make sure you're getting into this crypto market with all the knowledge that you need, and you're investing in digital assets that are likely to go up in value for you. Now, what is happening in the crypto market? We've had that Black Swan event. Now, let me go into a little bit of detail about this before we start looking at news stories and looking at the charts. FTX is a huge exchange, and the owner of that exchange is a guy called Sam Bankman-Friedman, or SBF for short. Now, FTX are a major competitor to Binance. Binance have a CEO called Changpeng Zhao, or CZ for short. Now, CZ has pulled off a masterclass in acquisition. There is a lot of hoo-ha about exactly what happened here, but the truth of the matter is that FTX and Alameda Research, which is a fund owned by Sam Bankman-Friedman, or he's one of the founders, they're completely underwater, okay? And they're in a lot of trouble. Now, FTX's native token, which is called FTT, has crashed roughly 80% in the last 24 hours. Now, this has all happened based on the fact that Binance had released news that they'll be acquiring FTX as an exchange. Now, FTX are faced with a serious liquidity crunch, and that is why Binance's CEO has had the ability to go in and buy FTX as an exchange. There are multiple reasons why he would do that. Now, the one that makes most sense to me is the user base. If you imagine the user base of such a large exchange like FTX, it makes sense for the Binance CEO, Changpeng Zhao, to acquire it and then bring those users directly onto the Binance platform, or change the current FTX exchange so that it falls in line with that same Binance branding. The other major issue is CZ had confirmed that he will be selling $500 million worth of FTT tokens that he was holding. And this was all based on some revelations that had come to light. Now, there is no public information to let us know what those revelations were, but they were obviously significant enough for CZ to decide to sell the entire $500 million worth of holdings of FTT token that they owned. Now, the entire amount has not been sold yet, and CZ did disclose that he will try to do it in a way that does not cause major issues on the market, but clearly that has not been the case. There is panic and fear everywhere, and if we look across the board, there are significant losses that have been taken place in a number of the leading crypto projects. It's a bloodbath out there. Now, the ones that everyone are talking about, in my opinion, are FTX's FTT token and also Solana, the Sol token. Now, I'm going to come on to Solana shortly because it's a project that's very close to my heart. I believe that it's got a serious future ahead of it, but there is a lot of stigma around the Solana blockchain at the moment due to the fact that FTX had a serious stake in Solana of around 10%. Binance have classed this sell-off of the FTT token as a post-exit risk management move. CZ also said that he would not support lobbying against other industry leaders, which gives us another indication that perhaps Sam Bankman-Fried or FTX as a company or Alameda Research as a fund may have been saying or doing some things behind closed doors that are frowned upon by CZ. Then if you think about Alameda Research, they donated $6.2 million to the President Biden campaign. Another potential reason right there. Now, if we talk about Solana, which has come out of the top 10, it's currently at number 12 in the total market capitalization, and it's had a sell-off of around 40% in the last week. Current price is $18, and its market cap is at $6.7 billion. Now, there is a direct link between Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX and Solana, and also the trading firm Alameda Research. Now, one theory is that Alameda Research might dump all of their Sol holdings to try and raise fresh liquidity. And Solana is Alameda's second largest holding, which accounts for roughly 10% of the entire Solana token distribution. It works out to be around 292 million in unlocked Sol tokens, $863 million in locked Sol tokens, and $41 million in collateral within the actual project. Solana did have a recent spike of about 15% in the market off the back of the Google Cloud partnership deal. This was at the weekend. Then on Sunday, you kind of had a classic buy the rumor, sell the news type scenario, and Solana started falling off the back of that. So that could be part of the reason for a percentage of the sell-off that we've seen with Solana. The other thing to mention is sometimes the setups of these projects' tokens on the charts are just not looking great, and they can lose support and lose further valuation from the overall market capitalization. I genuinely believe it's a combination of the three. Now, what you've got to think about moving forward is, realistically, is a project like Solana going to survive what has just happened? When we think about a 40% sell-off in the last week, all of this bad news that's going around right now, all I'm looking for is a moment where the dust settles and we start to see Solana start gaining some traction again. That for me would be a fantastic entry point. And I genuinely believe seeing Solana at $10 or under is a fantastic buying opportunity, in my opinion. This is an ecosystem that has grown faster than any other over the last 12-month period. The user base is continuing to grow. And yes, of course, the element of risk from an outside perspective looking in now is higher, but so is the potential reward if Solana are to keep their place in the crypto markets. Now, I think it's really important as well to take a look at the charts and some of the leading news stories that are out there to give us a broader picture as to what is happening. So I'm going to share my screen with you and go through that with you now. Okay, so guys, the FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried removes assets are fine flood from Twitter. So SBF has deleted a Twitter thread where he tried to assure customers that FTX and the assets on the platform were fine. So SBF, who's the CEO of the troubled crypto exchange FTX, appears to have retracted his words about the safety of client holdings on FTX. So he's deleted this Twitter thread where he tried to assure customers that FTX and the assets on the platform were fine. And he took to Twitter to post the thread of 4 different tweets on the 7th of November, which is 2 days ago, claiming that FTX had enough to cover all client holdings. SBF also stated that the firm didn't invest client assets and has been processing all withdrawals and will continue to be. He said, "We have a long history of safeguarding client assets, and that remains true today," one now deleted tweet said. So, you can see here there are screenshots of what he has put. The fact that he's taken them off is not a good sign. So if you're watching this for the first time and you've got any funds on the FTX exchange, it might be a good idea for you to consider moving them elsewhere. So according to multiple sources on Twitter, FTX CEO removed his assets are fine thread on November the 8th at around 10:30 p.m. UTC time, or a few hours after announcing a strategic transaction with Binance. As part of the deal, Binance agreed to acquire FTX in a move to help the troubled exchange overcome a significant liquidity crunch. And there is a video here which I would recommend people watch that gives you further information on this FTT crash and Binance to bail out FTX. The acquisition news came shortly after several reports hinted that FTX had temporarily stopped withdrawals for the majority of coins. Many in the crypto community anticipated these events amid sluggish FTX withdrawals, concerns about the leaked balance sheet of FTX's sister firm Alameda Research, as well as Binance's decision to liquidate its FTX token holdings. So the community has been outraged about SBF opting to delete the tweets, with many blaming the FTX founder for blatant lies about the status of assets on the exchange. One Twitter user, Predator, also pointed out that SBF previously retweeted a random account that implied an airdrop for those who don't withdraw their coins from FTX. The crypto enthusiast suggested that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission needs to go after such actions, stating an implicit promise that SBF doesn't actually to be held accountable for because he himself did not tweet it. Some crypto observers aren't too optimistic about the future events for FTX users that continue to store their holdings on the exchange. According to Dylan Leclerc, senior analyst at UTXO Management, FTX customers are now unsecured creditors. So you can see here in this tweet, don't mean to be the bearer of bad news here, but if it isn't clear already, if you still have funds on FTX, they're gone. You're an unsecured creditor. The probable outcome is Chapter 11 and a class action lawsuit that draws out for years, where you get 10 cents to 30 cents on the dollar. So this is not good news, guys. For any of you that are on FTX and you are able to remove your funds, I do strongly suggest that you do so. The FTX news triggered another massive crash on the crypto market that's already been on the decline this year, with Bitcoin $17,775 tanking to below $18,000. The total market value lost about 10% over the last 24 hours at the time of writing, according to CoinGecko. Now, the next story that I wanted to go through with you guys is that Marathon is now the second largest listed holder of Bitcoin. The United States listed Bitcoin miner has produced at least 1,231 Bitcoin since the start of July and has sold none of it to date. So Bitcoin mining company Marathon Digital Holdings is now understood to be the second largest holder of Bitcoin in the world among publicly listed companies. During the company's third quarter earnings call on November the 8th, Marathon Digital CEO Fred Thiel revealed the company now holds 11,300 BTC, worth around $205 million at the time of writing, making Marathon the second largest holder of Bitcoin among publicly traded companies worldwide, referring to unnamed third-party data. According to CoinGecko, the Nasdaq-listed crypto miner is ranked second only to MicroStrategy Incorporated, which holds nearly 130,000 BTC. It's followed by crypto exchange Coinbase and Jack Dorsey-founded payments company Block, Inc. The company reported its third quarter earnings on November the 8th, noting that it added 616 BTC to its holdings in the quarter, while another 615 BTC was added in the month of October alone, the most productive month in the company's history. So, as you can see here in this tweet, we have sequentially improved our Bitcoin production from 72 Bitcoin in July to 184 in August, then to 360 in September, and then to a record 615 in October. October was the most productive month in our company's history. And you can see the growth on the chart there. And it just goes to show that if you are someone that is buying and holding and waiting and biding your time, there is huge opportunity in this marketplace. The consistent improvement in our Bitcoin production is the direct result of increasing our hash rates by bringing more Bitcoin servers online and improving those servers, said Thiel during the conference call. The Marathon Digital CEO also confirmed that to date, the company still has not sold any of its Bitcoin and will continue to take that position unless deemed necessary to cover operating expenses or other expenses. This differs from the other major miners such as Argo, Bitfarms, Core Scientific and Riot Blockchain, all of whom had reported selling coins in order to pay bills. Thiel also used the call to make mention the battle between Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao and Sam Bankman-Friedman, which he says is causing turmoil for the price of Bitcoin, but said it would likely come back to a range of around 18 to 20k, which they feel very comfortable in. The Bitcoin miners' earnings, however, took a beating in the third quarter, with its net loss nearly tripling compared to the prior year, reaching $75.4 million, while revenue fell 75.5% year on year to $12.7 billion. And you can see here the Q3 22 financial results are out. Consistent improvement in BTC production, increased hash rate 84% from September 30th to November the 1st. 69,000 active servers as of November 1st, and increased year-to-date BTC production by 27% year-on-year as of October 31st. Now, what I'm going to do is come on to the charts, show you guys some of the movement, some of the outlooks that I have and different levels that we need to keep an eye on. Right, so guys, this is Bitcoin here, and what I want to show you straight away is that we have now come lower than that $17,600 range. So you can see here, that is where everyone was claiming the bottom potentially was in, and you can see that we broke it just here where that blue circle is, and we came down to roughly $17,100. Now, let me tell you, the big thing here is that historical data is now out of the window. This is not the same as what's happened before. And I've repeatedly said about the macro environment and the way that it can affect all markets. And that is exactly what we have seen here. All of the data points that have said potentially the bottom is in are no longer viable. So what we've got to look at here, if we zoom out, is what is the next major level of support for us. And it's in this area right here. So if we look at this area here, this is where I'd expect to see some level of support. So what we're looking at here is roughly around the 16,353 area. Below that, we're coming all the way back to 2019, looking at the top, which was roughly $13,907. So that call between kind of $14,000-15,000 makes sense to me now. Okay, and I'm just going to bring that over so that you can see where that top was. It is just here, which I've just highlighted in this circle for you. So these for me are the next major levels that we need to try and hold. And I think that this could be a potential area where discussions can take place as to whether the bottom might be in. We can potentially still go lower from here. Anything can happen in the crypto market, and all we can do is be prepared, have a strategy in play that we make sure we follow based on the information that is out there for us at the time. We've got to take it day by day, and we've got to see how the dust settles now. So the next few days are critical, in my opinion, as to what direction the market is going to go in next. What I will do though, guys, is I'll work on some setups and set some targets. One thing that we have always made sure we do with all of our team and our Crypto Academy is to have that strategy, to have that plan, to set those buy orders coming down and have that expectation that anything can happen. And if Bitcoin did come to $5,000, what would be our play? That's what's important here. Have patience and make sure you don't panic, because this crypto market is not going anywhere. This is a bear market. This for me is that final capitulation moment, the black swan event that we've been waiting for, so that we can finally say the bottom's in and start looking upwards. So guys, if there are any questions, as always, leave them in the comments below. Please make sure you keep yourselves calm, carry out diligence. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you're in our Crypto Academy, you know that you can reach out to us and we'll always get back to you. Please make sure you give the video a thumbs up to help us with the YouTube algorithm. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.